from esports, trying to find what angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a roll! White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna get themselves a big old 4K. Santi getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Saga before he's hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick on the Leaky. You're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Blue manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Ana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The fourth one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the CGL Season 14 playoffs. We are in the thick of it now. The most important part of the season is essentially upon us. We are deciding who is going to the grand finals in the flagship tier of CGL, the NA Console Open tier. Short Bus or YE Snowfall, history versus upstart here, Megalas. You ready to get it rolling?
Absolutely. Like you said, Short Bus, they're a long-time favorite. They hold a lot of CGL trophies, possibly more than any other team. They've had some very dominant runs here, but Snowfall, they're aware coming into this match, they're going to have to punch up. They're on a good hot streak coming through the bracket so far. And, getting a look at how it's all shaken out here, taking on Vicious Control as well as Mental Institution, right? One of the heavy favorites coming into that matchup, but Snowfall managed to get it done. And, Snowfall, they say this Malcolm can be the equalizer, and they have the confidence behind them to believe they could be the one to finally make Short Bus look mortal.
Yeah, I mean, the Short Bus are, until proven otherwise, going to be favorites. They have won, I believe now, 4 tournaments in a row, 2 seasons in a row, back-to-back champions of CGL. I think it's 5 tournaments actually, with this past mid-season tournament added on. So, Short Bus, we know who Short Bus is. They are the team to beat. So let's meet them here. Short Bus, the starting lineup: Akaza, Smash, Necryze, Vobendo, Dinks. This lineup is, most of that championship lineup, the only exception being Smash coming in here instead of NRG to start this series off. NRG, comes in late during the series most of the time, it feels like. So Smash will be taking that role for the moment for Short Bus. But even, this roster is just so deep that even if they're down like their starting DPS that they would like to have, Smash is still going to be one of the best players in this tournament.
Exactly, and it makes a little bit of sense, right? Like, NRG is known for those really hard hit scan things, so maybe when you're dealing with something that's not a hard hit scan meta, you bring somebody else in that can play a little bit more of those flex characters. But their opponents on the other side, YE Snowfall, like we said, a large task ahead of them, potentially the largest task in CGL. But Turtle Boy and Raven on the DPS line, Zen on tank, and Paradox and Silent Blaze seem up to the task. This team, not a lot of people were like highly putting them, right? It was just another team here in the NA console, but they've proven they've shapen up throughout the regular season with some good performances, but also this playoff run they've been making to now find themselves in this winter final matchup. It shows that they're confident, they're cool and collected, and they know what they need to do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a great story, the Snowfall roster. I mean, Snowfall is a team that has been around for a while, but the past 3 or 4 or 5 seasons of CGL have been like dominated by, well, first of all, Short Bus, but then the color teams like Red Team, Blue Team, right? Obviously, Red Team and Blue Team don't exactly have a presence around right now, but Snowfall has been around for all of that. Now, finally, they're getting their chance to punch into this higher tier of play that we have seen from these other historic orgs in the console open tier here in CGL. So, Snowfall here has a chance to make history. I don't remember the last time Short Bus lost a match in a convincing fashion, right? I think there's been some close calls here and there, but Snowfall, they've got a chance to punch their ticket into the top 2 for the first time.
Yeah, and like you said, nobody can really recall the last time Short Bus lost in a dominant fashion, and I think that's not the loss that you're going to be looking for here if you're Snowfall, right? I think it's one of those things you're going to have to strap in, because Short Bus, even if you're confident that you can come in and you can finally be the team to sort of dethrone them, put them on notice, you've got to be ready for a back and forth. It's like a fight with a top tier boxer. You're not going to end it in one round. It's simply not going to happen. You have to be prepared, have the endurance to go the distance, know there's going to be some rough maps in there for you, but mentally have the strength to sort of bounce back and do what you need to do. That way you can bring it all together and really deliver a performance you can be proud of.
Yeah, and as we wait for some hand cam situations to get into position, we do, I believe, know where our first map is going to be, if we could bring that in here. It's going to be Lijiang Tower, and it's odd to say that Lijiang Tower is a departure from the norm. It has been a lot of Antarctic Peninsula in this Amalgam meta, so seeing Lijiang Tower and is going to be super interesting. It's not one that we see a lot of, which is in itself a strange occurrence, right? Lijiang Tower super popular because you can it's basically the rush capital of Overwatch right now, right? You can pretty much run any variation you want, but rush is going to be the idea, with the exception of maybe Garden, where you could try to do something else like a dive. But with Malga being as strong as he is, as dominant as he is, I mean, it's not surprising.
I was gonna say, I don't know what Overwatch you've been casting. I've been casting a lot of EU, and they pick
Okay,
Lijiang every
then
single time.
maybe it's just me. I think 85% of my games have been Antarctic Peninsula. It is so many.
Yeah, you're living in an echo chamber. I don't know what you're on. I see Lijiang Tower when I sleep.
Okay,
No joke.
well then I will amend my statement. It is a departure for me because I have seen Lijiang Tower once outside of this match, I think.
Well, like I said, it's very interesting, right? Because you have the regions with CGL. EU has been leaning very heavily into Lijiang, but like you said, Antarctic Peninsula, Samoa picks have been coming through on the NA side. And I think it's more so to do with like the variants, right? Like Symmetra, yes, or Lijiang Tower, spoiling what I'm going to talk about here. Symmetra comes into the lineup a lot of the time for either initial TPs or can be niche strats on the point. You see some Pharah picks. The DPSs really have a little bit more free reign to pick some different things on Lijiang Tower, whereas, Antarctic Peninsula or these other maps, you can come in and you can expect the Amalgam Mirror to be exactly verbatim, right? Reaper, Echo, DPS line. You don't have to think anything beyond that. But like we said, Lijiang Tower, you can add in that little bit of variance, that little extra curveball that can throw people off, right? Especially here on the night market, right? So, niche strategies with the Symmetra. You can have that Pharah come out of spawn if you're feeling confident on it a lot of the time here. But, it's sort of a time will tell situation. Both teams currently not hovering the Amalgam meta, though. This might be sort of a shaking hands we're not going to lean into that. Decry's known as one of the great doom
well.
fests here, but Short Bus
Shut up.
actually is deciding that they want to play the Malga meta, that they've accepted where it's going to be, and Snowfall on the Orisa comp with a double poke DPS line. It's going to be interesting to see how they tackle the Malga, right? Because Short Bus, as long as they close the distance, they theoretically just have the better comp on paper.
All right, well, some differences indeed as we head into Lijiang Tower. Night Market. Short Bus on the outside of the point looking in for the moment. Vobendo under a lot of pressure and very, very quickly dealt with by Turtle Boy. Now it's Smash's turn to get run down. They're trying to keep this Reaper up, but an incredible early fight here for Snowfall.
Absolutely massive, and that's what they need to do, right? Especially when you're going to play this Tracer Ashe backline with the Orisa. You know, Orisa's not going to be able to sustain long against the full pressure. Short Bus already making some adaptations, though. They realize they don't want to play Malga into this, right? So it's going to be the DPS mirror, but a Sigma instead plays that range a little bit better than the Orisa and should be able to get more value out of it.
Akaza very, very well known for that Tracer play, so we will see if Turtle Boy is up to that task. Good job keeping Akaza in check for the moment. Both will grab a health pack there. The Rock will very narrowly miss Paradox's noggin, but Zen will not be able to escape. Burnt down by the dynamite of Smash on that Ashe, and will be Short Bus holding and taking over here.
Jip being able to take the point now in a pretty successful fashion here, not having to, you know, do any crazy investments, granted, because you didn't have anything on the line just yet. But now Snowfall coming into this next one, they're going to be able to have this pulse bomb. They could try to wait to combo it with a Terra surge from them, but we'll have to see if that's what they want.
Alright, well, pulse bomb out. Ugh. Ah! Turtle Boy serving that pulse bomb up to Dinks on a silver platter, now turning their attention to Akaza on the point. But Akaza gonna deal with that Tracer duel. However, the numbers still heavy in favor of this YE Snowfall roster. Zen received that pulse bomb, but it will not be enough to claim that Orisa's life. The orbital raise, not gonna be good enough for Paradox to live there. 47%, now 50 for Short Bus as the Gravitic Flux comes out, and it will be Short Bus retaining their hold.
And I mean, this is the thing about Short Bus, right? They, even when there's cracks, when they lose a member, if something happens, whether it's a pulse bomb or what have you, they are never done in a fight until all 5 members are down. And that's, you know, the level of commitment and investment that comes from this squad being together this long and doing the things that they do. Now, Snowfall making an adaptation over to the D.Va, trying to play a little bit faster here, but this could isolate your backline in a really big way.
Well, in that backline is Akaza, and Cries, yeah, stunned up, chased down in the end. They know where Akaza's at, and Silent Blaze deciding it's their turn to take over this match. 3 kills to 1 here, and Snowfall will get back in.
Snowfall will get back in on a pretty fairly traded investment, right? It's just going to be these Tracers that are coming up towards ultimates. Now Necry's going over to the Zarya. We're having a bit of counter watch occur back and forth here. It's going to be about keeping the Zarya's charge incredibly low, because if Snowfall allows the Zarya to ramp up, then Zen's life is going to become a living hell.
Some ranked gameplay out here from these teams, and Raven actually dispatches of Smash so quickly. Akaza will not be able to find a target with that pulse bomb because of a well-timed shield bash by Silent Blaze, and there is the pulse bomb, but fight well over as Snowfall continues to hold.
Yeah, that pulse bomb's ultimately not going to come up with anything. Sure, you get the pick, but you're going to have Paradox back in by the time Short Bus is really ready to re-engage. So Snowfall now have a good advantage here as we're entering final fight territory. Turtle Bomb could put this away as long as he gets 1 pick with his pulse.
Only ultimate on the board right now is that pulse bomb, so Necryus heads over to the point, gonna try and, you know, maybe build up that charge a little bit if possible. Turtle Boy did let loose that pulse bomb, did not find a target. Paradox very close to this orbital ray. Could be a dagger for YE Snowfall should he get that off. 97%, Vobendo not particularly close in comparison. That orbital ray let loose by Paradox. Clip will end up coming back through for YE Snowfall. Now, Short Bus having to try and rotate around the front side of this point. No kills come through from the orbital ray, and that may be backbreaking because Gobindo has got one of his own. Akaza and Smash, the DPS line for Short Bus come in. One apiece, and YE Snowfall at the 11th hour will fall. Short Bus will take Lijiang Tower Night Market.
I mean, yeah, like you said, not getting any picks off of that orbital ray. Beautiful kite from Short Bus, knowing to have that Tracer in position to sort of cycle the touches while the rest of the team had to rotate out of path of that orbital ray and not let it get any of the value. You know, Short Bus played that, you know, beautifully. I just wish Snowfall, you know, had somebody ready to catch that rotation, potentially sending Turtle Boy or somebody into the backline to do the damage needed there. Now, as we're heading over to Garden, we're waiting to see if these tanks are going to continue to swap. I expect DPS line to stay more of the same here, you know, after an initial TP from Akaza, but the Doomfist into D.Va, it's going to create two separate versions of dive where Zen can be a little bit more peely, where Necrise is going to want to go all in, and the supports are reflecting it now with them going over to the Kiriko as well as Lucia.
All right. Necrise. I mean, comfort characters abound here for Short Bus. Doomfist, Tracer, scary duo for Short Bus is Necrise and Akaza on these characters. But Zen absolutely running down Smash with those micro missiles, and all Necrise can do is put up the fist and watch, and not much more, as YE Snowfall will be good for this first fight here on Garden.
The one pick is all they need, right? And that synergy between Turtle Boy and Zen is going to be what gets them these picks. Now, trying to chase down Akaza is a little bit dangerous.
Akaza will get away for the moment. In the back line he goes. As Zen tries to keep a check on Necrise, who will jump in. That empowered punch not going to be coming through as Necrise just falls over dead, and now it's going to have to be another fast disengage or just die here for Short Bus.
Yeah, I mean, this is great from Snowfall right now. They're putting the exact level of pressure, right? When people are getting in, it's one at a time. It's not allowing the entirety of Short Bus in, and it's creating this beautiful split in the rest of the team where they're able to focus down on the targets that become isolated because of that split. Necrise giving up the Doomfist over to the D.Va now, and we're also on a Kiriko Brig backline simply because we're so close to the Kitsune Rush. They want to keep Gobindo.
Akaza being forced back, able to grab the mini health pack outside of the white room there. As Zen pops in, pops out, trying to put some pressure onto this hit scan player in Smash. Kitsune Rush into the backline. Necrise taking advantage. Both Divas going head to head, and both will get demeched, but Necrise does not have the self-destruct that Zen does. So Zen already back in mech while Necrise trying to build up to it, and they will not be able to follow up onto the demech. Actually, whoa, Turtle Boy does! And that's already 80% for YE Snowfall.
Yeah, and I mean, the main thing that's getting the percentage right now is Bob, and, you know, as much as we love the big Omnic Butler, he will eventually vanish. Good pick on for Dinks here. This should give Short Bus a chance to actually get back into this, but if they have to invest their rally, then it could get dire. The Snowfall's going to have so many tools for the fight after.
And Akaza able to jump around the wall, chase down Raven, who was doing much of the same. And without Raven, no fight for Snowfall.
And like I said, being able to hold on to this rally right now is massive. You're going to be able to build up towards your D.Va Bomb, give Necrise that second chance of life if they fall under pressure. And Akaza having that pulse as well now can definitely catch, you know, Snowfall in rotation here as they approach the point.
There is the pulse bomb out. Raven eats another one there. Dead already, unfortunately. Necrise goes in hard on the follow-up and will do just that. No investment, though, out of Snowfall in that fight.
No investment from them, but I mean, they only got the pulse bomb out of Short Bus here, so still plenty of tools for Short Bus to work with, since they realize they're coming back from a deficit, right, with Snowfall already being able to build up to 99%. You know, now the shoe's going to be on the other foot. Turtle Boy's going to have a lot of pressure to find a way to open this one up with their pulse bomb of their own.
Oh my god, Raven dies first 3 fights in a row. This is just catastrophic for Snowfall.
I mean, yeah, that Ashe is under pressure. They realize the Bob is there, and you know, trying to push bridge, it's absolutely bold. But you know, you're stuck between such a rock and a hard place, right? You go bridge, you risk things like that happening to your Ashe or anybody caught out. But if you go white room, you're just gonna be stuck with a tracer.
And here is the orbital raid down as well as our good buddy Robert. And yeah, it's just a hard disengage here from Short Bus, as we saw the last time on that night market round. And now Vobendo has one of his own. The rally, though, in the hands of Silent Blaze here, so we'll be able to rip that one. And oh, very lucky that Silent Blaze gets turned around in the end. Necry's will. Oh my god.
Somebody got invited in a group, and I promise
no. Rain was the leader of this group that got all of Short Bus in, and they left.
That's so tragic. Like, you
I
cannot
think
be in the group together. Like,
I mean, I think that the way this works is that they're gonna come back where they were.
It depends on what code we're using.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna be honest. If you let that happen, you deserve it. Like, oh, what are we thinking here, guys? Middle of the map, clutch situation. I mean, you're not like thinking.
Clutch situation, an overtime fight. Ultra being popped left, right, and center. We just had that beautiful live on the side of Snowfall. The Brig being able to make sure that Pulse Bomb doesn't kill anyone. And now the entire team has just left the lobby. So,
Snowfall's still here.
Yeah, Snowfall. I mean, listen, if you're Snowfall, you didn't get any value out of your Bob or Orbital Ray besides some space given. You didn't get a pick out of it. So, you know, I'm not saying that this is a fun way to get round wins or anything like that. But if I'm Snowfall, my hands are together in prayer. I'm saying thank you. Maybe this distraction can help. But
I think that they were in a good position to win this round anyway.
Yeah,
the rally was really strong from Blaze, and if I remember correctly, I was a little bit too busy laughing. But if Short Bus is coming back in here where they were at with the HP they were at, ults they were at, they won't. Yeah, this is round here, and Necry's will. Oh no, they are back right where they were at the beginning of the fight. Flipped us along to Short Bus, but that remake kill from Necry's is gonna be brutal if they can't follow up on anything else. Smash goes down in the backline essentially alone, and now Vobendo is under that duress. I mean, they are leaving these players in 1v1 situations with Zen, and I don't know about you, Mega. It is not easy to 1v1 a D.Va as any character, and Snowfall going to take advantage of the chaos and grab their first round here on Lijiang Tower.
I mean, I was going to say, I feel like you have the expertise on D.Va here between the two of us, but yeah, exactly, right? I mean, that was a prime opportunity for Snowfall, and he took advantage of it, then realizing I don't need to peel my backline to save. I can then be the aggressor here and, you know, sort of find these little sneaky picks, isolate targets in a one-on-one situation. It's what you want to do in this situation as D.Va, right? It's one of the best things about her, why you have boosters and things like that. Short Bus, now that we are inside on the control center, they fully opted into our Malga Brawl. It's going to be a Mei paired with it instead of an Echo. Pretty interesting sort of setup. Snowfall, they want to keep running what they were comfortable on, but I'm going to be honest, Raven's going to have a tough time finding long sight lines to take advantage of on control center before Short Bus can close that gap.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have a Cassidy here for sure, just because it is a little tighter, but I guess we will have to see Necry's and essentially running a dive there onto Silent Blaze and stomping out the life force of the Brig here early. Vobendo falls over though, and Necry's mistakes out of Short Bus here will lead to a very, we'll say, messy fight win for Snowfall.
I mean, yeah, that was sort of a no-thought, head-empty approach to it. And sure, you were able to get the Brig in rotation, Silent Blaze just being out of position. But then, you know, that you thought you could just keep walking forward into the rest of the team, but some beautiful defense matrix kept everybody healthy until those DPS could deliver in the way they needed to. And now Raven set up in a beautiful position on this outer high ground, just going to be able to rain in shots from above.
Alright, well, Turtle Boy putting on the pressure and not letting it go. Akaza under a lot of duress, as is Necry's. I mean, there's not really a confident player that you can shoot at with that cardiac overdrive, right? It's getting a lot of damage eaten by this D.Va defense matrix as Short Bus rotates up to the high ground. I mean, they're struggling for a way to go in, need to find something, but Akaza sabotaging their Malga there with the ice wall, and the Cries under duress now shoved into a corner. They're trying to protect their players as Bobendo puts in the healing from afar, under duress by the Tracer there, but it's Paradox that actually falls first. Bobendo will get traded out, so there is not a single Juno left on this map, and at 60%, Snowfall will lose out on control.
They'll lose out on control finally, but I mean, the trade and investment, right? It was just the rally coming out from Dinks for the side of Short Bus, whereas the Bob as well as the Bomb were both invested on the side of Snowfall here. And, you know, Orbital Ray is nice, but when you're going up against an Orbital Ray on the other side, as well as a Cage, a Blossom, a Blizzard, like everything in between, it's going to be pretty rough to try to win this one for Snowfall.
Smash has got this Death Blossom ready to go. Not going to be easy to find a lot of value into the D.Va defense matrix, so we'll see if they can find something here in the cage fight. And yeah, we'll be able to avoid that defense matrix in its entirety, but Snowfall gets the mid-fight flip there, so going to deny some percentage here from Short Bus.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful that they were able to sort of secure some percentage there, as well as getting a lot out from the side of Short Bus. Right now they only have the Blizzard to work with, and you know, Snowfall's comp, as long as it's not specifically the Brigitte that's caught up in the Blizzard, like most of everybody else has a way to get out of it as long as they don't get super frozen. So this could be a very interesting setup here, but Snowfall has advantage.
Turtle Boy with another chuck of a pulse bomb there onto Dinks. And now looking to follow up here onto Bobendo. There is not a support on the side of a Short Bus, but that is a-okay for them as this fight continues to roll. Recall forced out of the Tracer there as Turtle Boy cleans up some late kills here. And I mean, Akaza without... Oh! Ice Block. No Ice Block, no problem for Akaza.
No problem needed here. Now Short Bus entering towards their final fight. Still having this Blizzard online. Dinks, if the fight goes long, can build up to a rally. Meanwhile, Snowfall, they've kind of tapped the bank, right? They're sort of hoping to see if they can build Bob or anything like that, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Well, here is the Blizzard down. Zen caught out. That is backbreaking at 97%. That is not what you want to see, but I mean, Raven and Turtle Boy are not done here. Bob comes out. Bob is going to stall this point out, and it's just Necry's left, who eats a pulse bomb and no tank. No problem for YE Snowfall.
Oh my god, but again, those both DPS ults down the drain. You're still off from your support ults for quite a bit, and Short Bus are going to be coming into this with a Blossom and a Rally, assuming they can build them, right? I feel like it's going to be Turtle Boy, who needs to find some sort of early pick, hopefully onto Dinks, but you'll take Bobendo of anything you can get.
All right, final fight coming up here for the control center. Pressure onto Necry's. Turtle Boy just being chased down by Akaza on the other side. Paradox is the first casualty of this fight. However, forced to use the recall is Turtle Boy, so Flip will come through for Short Bus. TP up on to Raven, who will just use the coach gun to get away. Turtle Boy getting the better of Akaza in the Tracer duel, so this fight is so far from over here. Now cage fight down, but Smash is dead. Self-destruct in. That'll get rid of the cage fight, and that'll get rid of Dinks, and that will get rid of Short Bus, and YE Snowfall punch up here on map number 1. They take the first... What a series of events to end that map.
I mean, every single round close as hell, right? It wasn't just like a pure luck thing, right? Both these teams are so methodical, so smart in the way they are playing these rotations, these re-engages after they've lost a member, being able to keep this overtime ticking until they get the fights that they want. They find their advantage wherever it may be. Snowfall ends up coming out the better, but I mean, each of those rounds goes 99-99. You know what I mean? It's a back and forth affair across the board here. But like you said, Snowfall being able to strike first here, it does prove that the gods can bleed. And, you beat them on a mirror, you beat them in the Malga now, even if it was, again, just barely, you proved you can do it. So Short Bus is officially on notice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I still think the Malga is the best comp right now, and Snowfall running it with the May. I mean, or rather, Short Bus running it with the May. I don't know if I agree with that, but it is definitely worth noting how annoying Diva can be into the Malga with the defense matrix up. I mean, Malga gets so much value out of spamming the fire onto people and igniting them, right? And especially when you're trying to use that cardiac overdrive to get that healing to, spread the wealth to keep your team in the fight confidently. The defense matrix is just so damn annoying. And I mean, it's just YE Snowfall knew what they needed out of the Diva, took care of business there into the Malga, and I mean, also props to Turtle Boy for taking one of the best tracers that console's ever seen to task. I mean, Turtle Boy came to play today.
I mean, yeah, in matches like this, you have to step up, and Turtle Boy did it massively. For that Diva Malga matchup, you hit the nail on the head, right? Defense Matrix at its max capacity is 3 seconds long. Cardiac Overdrive, 3 seconds long. You can sort of entirely mitigate it. And it does help with how sustainable these backlines are, right? The Brig combined with the Juno, it means that, while Diva can peel and be a little bit more helpful in that regard, they don't have, the Diva doesn't have to peel and be like, hey, are you guys safe every couple of seconds? They can be an engage, potential here. They can walk forward, look for these picks like they have been, isolating targets. And, that's a really good look for Snowfall right now. Being able to sort of say, screw the meta, we don't want to play it. But Short Bus now having map pick, they could choose any and everywhere to go. And I'm sure there's plenty of maps in the pool that'll favor that Malga a whole hell of a lot more than the Diva.
Yeah, and now, just to take a quick aside here, we do have some news for, maybe not the other side of the bracket, but somewhere else in this console open bracket tonight. The Demon Kittens just finished a reverse sweep over Vicious Infernos, keep their season alive. So an incredible match over there on CGL1. They'll play Mental Institution in the next round of the losers bracket. So that lower bracket progressing very, very nicely. But yeah, now I agree, it is Short Bus's pick. I'm interested to see what their idea is. I wonder if they get the hand cam situation figured out, and NRG comes in, because they were trying at the very least to run that some variation of a hit scan. It was the Ash in that case of Smash there for a while. And as good of a player as Smash is, NRG is one of, if not the best hit scans console has ever seen, at least historically. So if you can get that vet in the lineup, no matter what, it's going to be a boon for your roster. So I'm curious to see if or when we get NRG to come back into the lineup, because we know NRG was supposed to start, but I think hand camming issues were what denied the start from NRG. So as we wait and try to figure out what map we go to, and as I say that, we do get a map selection here from Short Bus. It's going to be Route 66. And Mega, what are you thinking about Route 66? It's not a map we see a whole lot of.
I think this is an angry Short Bus that wants to, like, it's almost like an anime level fight, right? Snowfall just actually did damage to the main protagonist. The main protagonist, like, swipes away the little bit of blood and is like, oh, we're playing. I feel like Root, it's too intentionally mirror. I think they want to play the Ashen Tracer. They're like, oh, y'all want to opt out of the Malga? That's fine. Let's show you how it's really done. I'm not going to guarantee that this means NRG is in the lineup, but I would willingly, resoundingly bet some money on it. knowing that this is the map they picked, right? Because the Malga is not favorable here, right? This is one of the maps you can absolutely get away with a lot of the high ground being sort of that Ashe dominant, potentially even Widowmaker dominant holding space, as well as a good dive tank to sort of maneuver around the map as they see fit. Necrise, of course, on the Doomfist could be what we're seeing here as well. But overall, right, Snowfall, I'm almost happy if I'm Snowfall, right? If I'm seeing this, sure, you have the worry of if short bus are really going to come in to try to mirror you, but at the same time, it's like you guys were just playing this and you looked absolutely amazing on it, so why not just keep it going?
Yeah, I mean they look very very good on the Diva. Now I would have to assume that the stalling that we're getting here out of these teams, I mean, I have to assume they're trying to get energy into the lineup. So we are, yeah, we're just stalling for time. Mega, how was your day? Today kind of went by pretty quick for me.
Yeah, it was interesting. We had some EU games earlier. Shout out, more CGL action. Playoffs are amazing. But then it's been a day playing Overwatch. Had literally left a scrim 2B here.
Yuck.
Hey, listen, Calling All Heroes this weekend. Shout out. Everybody should go watch.
Heat.
Smile.
Heat.
You have both Rising and the actual main Calling All Heroes. Amazing. You'll even see some great people, but it seems like maybe my yap session's over, as the little voice in our ear has whispered the loading word into us. And I don't see NRG. I do not see him. He does not exist.
I think there are a litany of teams that would argue otherwise, but not coming in here for this match just yet, still on the sidelines. Route 66, not a map that we see very often, and yeah, you were right. Short Bus coming out of the spawn here on the Diva composition. It looks to be a 1-for-1 mirror, and yeah, right down to the character placement on the screens, and it's just gonna be this Diva Ashe Tracer with the Juno Brig backline across the board. And after all of the yapping you did, it's not surprising. It's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
I mean, yeah, this is Short Bus, a little bit of pain on their chest, right? They're like, oh, we're the better team. We're supposed to be the better team. We don't lose. So just taking the raw 1-to-1 mirror and hoping you can out-mechanic is something I absolutely expect from them. That being said, though, like I said, Snowfall, you're probably happy to see this, right? But it does also mean that Turtle Boy and Zen, they're going to have to even be more in sync, more careful with where they go, because, one pick can absolutely mean the end of a defense.
All right, Raven with a nice little headshot early. Whoever did get hit by that immediately bailing. Trying to find something there on to smash, but it will be Vobendo that receives a Viper bullet to the skull. And without Vobendo in this fight, that's a significant amount of healing denied by YE Snowfall's Ashe.
And being able to deny it, that's all you have to do if you're Snowfall. Pretty much once a minute, look, get a pick like that, and then just be able to sort of keep it going from there, because the attackers aren't going to want to go in this for it.
Ooh, nice little peel there by Zen. We've seen how hard it is to duel these Divas in a vacuum, so Zen taking the vacuum aspect out of it, keeping their back line healthy. Akaza rotating around the gas station. You know that Turtle Boy is ready for it, and some peel coming in once again from not just Zen, but also Silent Blaze. Back up to the top of the gas station goes Zen, looking for this Ashe, who trying to keep up with it. Zen and Turtle Boy able to come out with that kill, and that's just another 1-kill fight. Pretty easy here for Snowfall.
I mean, yeah, that's all the defense has to do. You get the 1 pick, then it forces the attackers to run like this.
Vobendo under duress, rally out, but Vobendo falls. Now, Dinks exceedingly low, not even getting a chance to proc that Inspire, and will fall even in spite of the rally. Akaza does track down the opposition's Brig, but that's not going to be enough.
And look at this, right? I mean, Short Bus, they just invested their Diva Bomb trying to get Necrise back and back. They invested the rally and the Pulse Bomb, all coming up with nothing. Snowfall in their defense hold 5 ultimates still. and they've already burnt 2 minutes off the clock. A proper ult rotation means Snowfall could be in control for the rest of their attack or defense.
All right, Raven keeping an eye on Smash and Akaza both. The off angle from Smash of Short Bus. You know, a little bit annoying, but nothing that Raven has not been proven to be able to handle. A Paradox coming in to help does have this orbital ray, but Bendo has one of his own, and it will be the dueling orbital rays out here early. Paradox does end up being the first to fall, but it is not without casualty from Snowfall. 2 dead, now 3 for Short Bus, a 3 versus 2 fight. Bob claiming Bob now 2 versus 2. Akaza uses the recall here super early to Cries. Very low in this mech, not enough defense matrix to keep it rolling, and no self-destruct to get back in, and Snowfall have got 1 minute left to defend.
1 minute left. Akaza has a pulse bomb here, and then they're going to have both teams with a Diva bomb, but otherwise, really, the ult boards have been wiped pretty effectively. Short Bus, you know, you're not obviously fully relying on just Akaza here, but this is going to be your golden ticket if ever there was one.
This pulse bomb's got to be big for Short Bus if they want to have the chance. Akaza a little bit paranoid, but Turtle Boy has opted to back off from the duel in the backline for the moment. Now going into the backline of Short Bus. Paradox run down, just absolutely run down by Akaza and Necrise, and with those 2 kills from the side of Short Bus, that will be an objective A capture, but it was not without strife.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, you get it done, as well as you don't have to invest anything here for Short Bus, right? That was just a raw coordinated dive using the speed swing from Bendo to get Necrise into the backline to get Paradox, right? Beautifully done. So now they have all of these tools to continue, finally start building some momentum for their attack, right? This rally and pulse bomb especially should be able to get them a fair bit of distance as long as they come up with the value they need.
Necrise up to the high ground to try and deal with this YE Snowfall hold. Has the self-destruct, so does Zen. Both have that get out of jail free card, but ult advantage is indeed in the hands of Short Bus. Raiden looking for this Diva, and Necrise just heavy overextension. Even with that self-destruct, that felt a little bit way too overcommittal. Now you see Zen jumping into the backline of Short Bus as Necrise is entirely way too low again, taken out. Pulse bomb not going to find a target for Akaza. This does not look like Short Bus of Ultis. Turtle Boy goes yard with the pulse bomb.
I mean, no, they're absolutely being held, right? Snowfall said, oh, you want to mirror our comp? That's fine. We know how to play it a whole hell of a lot better than you do, but now this Turtle Boy overextension could be bad, but no,
what are you doing, Dinks? Dinks falling early, and it's just another quick disengage, and now it's only 60 seconds left on the clock. Bob is in play here, but I mean, the ult advantage is so heavily in favor of YE Snowfall. They've got 4 coming up. Smash needs to stay alive, needs to keep themselves in this fight, but just under duress constantly. Nobody is letting this Ash breathe. Choking them out, still have these ults ready to go too in the hands of Short Bus. YE Snowfall with 4 still, and nobody has fallen just yet.
Yeah, just this back and forth exchange, right? Everybody poking, nobody wants to commit just yet. I think both sides are waiting for the overtime, for better or for worse, to really fully commit to this. But this does mean that now, Short Bus, they don't have a second chance. This is now or never.
Orbital Ray down, and Zen explodes. Bob is in the fray here, and they will, unfortunately for Smash, be shooting at each other. Raven does end up falling, but with only 4 seconds on the clock, this is going to be a hard-fought fight. Now, a 2 versus 2, Akaza has to use the recall, has a pulse bomb, should they so choose to use it. Akaza, 55 HP, gonna get a pack there from Dinks. Now, Raven headed over to the Sombra for this late touch pulse bomb out. Akaza feeding Silent Blaze that pulse bomb, and it is not looking great here for Snowfall late in the round, but Raven able to get the trade on it to Smash, who has just been absolutely harassed constantly. Paradox so damn low, does end up falling. Hack out onto Necrise, has the self-destruct, and It is not looking likely that Snowfall holds on to this on B. It looks like this map is going to C no matter what.
And I mean, when it gets more chaotic like that, right, that's where Short Bus thrives, because Akaza can come alive like we saw there. Very good pressure from Necrise to be able to stay on the point, keeping the Diva Bomb in the back pocket as needed here. But now Short Bus, like you said, they have a new lease on life, right? A rally to work with as well here for a lot of sustain. Smash on the Reaper, so this might give Raven a lot of free range. Oh no, now over to the Cassidy, potentially trying to limit a little bit of that range, but you're still not going to gain those same sight lines that an Ashe can hold.
Raven happy to play a little bit further back, a little bit more consistent at that range than the Cassidy for sure. The hard engage here, rally out from Dinks, able to stun up Zen, but Paradox will not be able to live. Necrise and Akaza dynamic and find one each. Looking to go even further in to try and extend their lead.
And I don't know what it is. There's been this shift where Paradox is getting caught out an awful lot here. These DPS are really honing in on the Juno and making Paradox's life a living hell as this payload's going to continue to roll forward.
But now on the point with his pulse bomb has found so many rally, or rather the shield able to tank that, and Turtle Boy going to be able to avoid the annoyance that is that Brig shield. Necrise will get back into mech, but yeah, it's not looking great here for Short Bus with only 3 seconds left. Akaza will not have much HP after that, and Turtle Boy with the disgusting animation cancel, and Short Bus fall just short of the completion of the map, and YE Snowfall have a very doable win condition here on Route 66.
I mean, yeah, but considering where that could have been held, right? Point A, both of the caps for Short Bus having to come through in overtime, but they do come through, right? This clutch factor is unlike anything ever seen, but, you know, now on the attack, we'll have to see how Snowfall fares against it. It's going to be harder to set your Ashe up with these angles, and I feel like Raven was able to put in a lot of work on the defense, so maybe it's going to be Smash's turn to deliver on that. But I mean, just something you were saying as we were in between maps, right? Turtle Boy has such a tall task to step up to Akaza, but he's doing it not only well, he really is making Akaza look like the inferior Tracer in some of these fights. And I mean, the fact that any one player could do that is astonishing, right? That should speak to the level that Snowfall is currently playing at against the Short Bus squad.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is stepping up for Snowfall in these maps right now. Short Bus, though, I said that Snowfall has a very winnable win condition. So does Short Bus. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to get to Objective C on Route 66, but it's not easy, right?
We just proved how hard it was.
Yeah, I mean, they have a long way to go, and Short Bus happy to hold them as Raven gets in. Found a couple of early picks on the defense. We'll see if they can do the same. And, well, hey, thanks for making me look good there, Raven. Smash falls, and without that Ashe, it's going to be rough for Short Bus to hold this high ground for a consistent amount of time.
I mean, absolutely. So now, I mean, Short Bus, right? They can't get staggered in this defense. Everybody has to live, and it's going to be a full-scale fight for them to re-engage. They do get everybody out. Nobody is dead yet, but holding this high ground now, like I said, it's going to give Raven the advantage that they so desperately need.
All right, back in here. Nobody particularly close to the ultimates. The closest are the Divas, as Akaza going to put some pressure onto Raven, and on fire is the Tracer, and Smash is actually the one that follows up on all of that harassment there. Necrise on the mega health pack, very, very low, will be able to live, and with Paradox and Blaze going down here, it's not going to be a fight that Snowfall can bring out any longer.
No, absolutely not. This is going to be a brutal stagger, right? And I feel like they should have just flown off the map and instead wanted to try to see if they could keep the mech. But, you know, beautiful time that Short Bus is buying off the clock now. Coming into this next one, you have a pulse bomb already. You're going to be close to the rally as well for Dinks here. So there's going to be a lot of sustain for this defense that Snowfall is, you know, they have to find a way to break through it, and I don't think they have the means to do it. They might just have to sort of kite and wait for another fight after.
Paradox with a 20% lead on that orbital ray. We've seen that he's had those leads consistently here, and I mean, it's just been great kiting from Snowfall. Need to find something with that orbital ray as it comes up. Pulse bomb wide left for Akaza here, and Turtle Boy is actually the one that gets chased down here first in this fight. 2 minutes on the clock. Does Paradox let loose this orbital ray? The stun is out, and Paradox does end up falling. Nothing gonna come out of Snowfall in the way of ultimates. The Short Buzz have 1:45 to hold.
But Dink's got the route, invest with the rally, right? So you'll absolutely take that. Turtle Boy, maybe that's a pulse bomb you're gonna want back. Just maybe, but you know, now Snowfall's coming in with both their support ults online, right? The rally for sustain as well as being able to mirror the orbital ray on the other side of things. It's gonna be a good fight for them, but this might have to be their fight if they overattack.
4 ultimates in the hands of YE Snowfall. We're gonna see orbital rays called in from either side. Bob as well. Gonna be a non-factor in this fight for Short Buzz. Bob just goes up behind the billboard and is putting in some damage, but ultimately it's only Necry's left, and there's nothing that this Pilot D.Va can do to stop the inevitable push of the point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Necry's is trying to find the point A cliff as quick as humanly possible. That way they do not get staggered out. Some nice shots, putting Raven on notice that, hey, Smash can see you. But Short Buzz, I mean, that was their orbital ray as well as their Bob, right? So now, still going to be lacking in the ult department as Snowfall has a chance to build up momentum here. It really is going to be raw picks from these DPS to try to open it up and get Short Buzz back in control.
The shots from Raven are crisp. Headshots only for this Ashe player. Able to get away from the D.Va, and only for so long both D.Vas will find both Ashes here. Akaza does have a pulse bomb ready to go, but Zen is absolutely raising hell in the backline. It's 3 for 3, and now it is a D.Va and a Tracer mirrored on either side of this fight. Akaza under pressure uses the recall. Now it's Necry's turn to get pressured out, and Necry is gonna eat a second pulse bomb. Is gonna be a little bit of a early push here for Snowfall.
Smash giving up on the Ashe, Raven hitting too many shots, goes over to the Genji. That means this dive is going to be more all-in, synced up together here for Short Buzz, but they do have to find their target and execute them quickly. Otherwise, you know, the longer this goes, Snowfall gets better.
All right, you see Akaza in the back line right now. Self-destruct going to be used by Zen, able to back off into the garage, get back into that mech. Bob ready to go for Raven, going to be thrown it down right behind Necry's, and maybe a poor decision to give up that spot to Necry's. Chases down the Ashe, and Smash going to get taken down as well. Now I believe it's just Necry's left here to fight for this high ground.
I mean, yeah, you have the Brig and Juno on the low ground. They're able to provide healing, and now the Tracer's back into the fight here. But, you know, Snowfall, this is all time that they're gaining. They didn't have to really do anything extra, and they're looking for opportunities more and more here. Akaza trying to look for the flank potential here. Can find onto Paradox again.
Paradox is very, very low, but weathering the storm here. Silent plays with Rally. Gets popped. Pulse bomb out from Dinks. Will weather that one as well. Very, very good rally timing there for Dinks. And now a Short Buzz with a minute left on the clock are looking poised to hold this.
And I mean, this, you know, this awareness from Short Buzz, right? The realization that Paradox and Silent Blaze are splitting up a little bit, right? That minor split is all you need. If you can displace the Juno, make sure that no healing comes through under the Brig. Raven now on the Symmetra. I'm not really, this seems like it's a strat to burn down Necry's mech, but I don't think this is your problem here. I think the problem is you guys are getting jumped on a little too hard. So this will be an interesting adaptation.
Orbital Ray and Paradox falling very, very quickly, but a quick fight may be exactly what Snowfall needed if they were going to lose. So they've got another touch.
Yeah, they're going to have another touch, but if Short Buzz chooses to push the spawn doors, right, you have a Dragon Blade as well as Necry's bomb that can be just dropped on the card to create space. Now Raven swapping again over to the Sombra here. At least Snowfall, they have both supportals to work with, so they should have sustain and health for the final touch here, but, you know, this Blade from Smash could be the ender.
Will get pulled rally as well. Orbital Ray called down upon this Short Bus roster. This Dragon Blade essentially cosmetic. Only pulled out of the sheath just to go right back in. Ultimates, both of them called down in the support department for YE Snowfall as well. And now it's just these dueling self-destructs as well as Turtle Boy with the pulse bomb. But Raven going to fall. Turtle Boy needs to find the Pulse Bomb. Touch does come through, but Bobendo will be taken down and out of this fight. Turtle Boy needs healing. Paradox, turn around, big dog. Then going to drop the self-destruct up into the sky. Very lucky to get back into mech, and they will need to get around the cart to stay in the mech, but with silent plays going down, and Akaza raising absolute hell in the backline. That will do it for map number 2. Short Bus take their ego match, and they get the job done. Even the score here in our series.
It looked a lot better here. The Ashe, not so much, but when they switch over to the Genji, able to all in, start putting some pressure onto Snowfall's backline, finding those picks consistently onto Paradox and Silent Blaze. That really so much better for the side of Short Bus here, and I expect them to continue this adaptation as we go throughout the series, right? Finding those supports more and more often, trying to put the pressure on them before, you know, they themselves can get taken out, right? Because I think this Ashe mirror so far, it just has not been their game, but a full-on dive where they're able to get onto the backline, it really does look like they actually are back to old form, should I say.
Yeah, I mean, an incredible stall there at the end for Short Bus to take their map selection of Route 66. So going into map number 3, going to be YE Snowfall's selection, but we don't know it, and y'all certainly won't know it until we come back from the break. So we're going to cut it to that short break, and when we come back, it'll be YE Snowfall's map selection to see where we are going to go for map number 3. All right, welcome back, everybody. Short Bus able to even the score on Route 66, reversing their luck from map number 1, able to get that win. 1-1 now as we head into map number 3. I alluded to maybe getting the map selection during the break. I don't think we did.
We did. We definitely did. You weren't listening.
Okay, well, maybe I was just in the bathroom. So, would you like to enlighten me on what map we're going to?
Well, I was talking about EU earlier, so it seems only fitting that we go to. I guess it's not technically in the EU anymore, but King's Row. King's Row.
Kings Row. Okay.
Fingers up. Something about saving the king. Mondada got shot here. Anyone remember that lore?
The statue's there for a reason.
Listen, King's Row, it's like Lijiang. Like, I've seen it enough times. We've all seen it. These teams are going to probably play similarly to what they played on Route 66. You're going to see the Ashes trying to take high grounds with the Tracers, having an ebb and flow, trying to find their moments to either take a Tracer duel or go to the backline and things of that nature. What's going to be important is Snowfall has to clean up, secure their backline a little bit more, not let the split, that way they can stay alive, and then sort of resume that pressure they were able to put onto Short Bus in that first map, where they're able to isolate targets themselves, whether it was supports, DPS, whoever they isolated, and getting those picks quickly and concisely so the rest of the team could return back to the fight.
Yeah. And, this would be a map where, in most cases, it would just be hardline Mauga down the throat, right? But we've seen that. Short Bus is willing to try it from time to time, but I'm curious if Short Bus got their kick out of the Diva Mirror on Route 66, right? Because that's kind of why we are assuming that they went to Route 66, just to try and say, hey, we can beat you on your own game that was really, really close before. So now I'm curious, does Short Bus try and retain their play on that Diva comp, or are they going to go over to the Mauga that most teams would? I don't expect anything different from Snowfall. I think you're right about that. Snowfall has shown that they are going to be this Diva team, hard line through and through. Not going to give up on that, and it will be the Diva out from YE Snowfall, and Short Bus not giving us much in the way of answers just yet.
Well, Short Bus, it's either going to be the Mauga, or if they're going to be on the Diva comp, I expect Smash to be on the Genji. I think that they've realized that Ashe is just not for them. Raven is just kind of clearing them right now. And, that makes sense, right? NRG is normally your hit scan player. They're missing from the situation, so you're not going to have them. And so no reason to sort of run it, right? Rather go all in with this dive with the Genji Tracer, find the backline time, and again here. But it's going to come down to the peel and things of that nature. Short Bus, they've solidified a little bit more. I think it'd be interesting to see if Necrise actually chooses to stay the Winston. I found out my answer. That's not the case. Akaza, it's typical, right? You have to start on Widow, see if anybody peeks their head out. You take a shot or two, and then you go over to the Tracer that you expect. So yeah, they're going to be focusing on the backline more, where Snowfall's going to be trying to isolate once again like they were on Nation.
So it will still be the very confident and strong Diva Mirror here, with Smash, of course, like you said, not on the Ashe, but on the Genji. Bobendo putting out a good bit of healing here, or maybe not, just kind of shooting at fully healed players now. So not a whole lot in the way of ult charge coming out of all of that gunfire. Necrise trying to put on the pressure to the people on the high ground, trying to force them down, force them out some way, somehow. Raven knocking the Diva back and away, and Zen very happy to help their Ashe out in that precarious scenario. Necrise trying to chase somebody down, but nothing being given for free by this high ground hold for YE Snowfall.
Yeah, it's just absolutely difficult, right? Zen has the hardest job in the world, contesting point and making sure the peel's there, but now the dive's in.
Silent Blaze backing off, bashing away. Able to live, get the Inspire healing, point pressure down. May need to drop eventually. Self-destruct in from Necrise certainly not the way that you would have liked that to go if you are Necryze, and Smash able to find those shurikens onto Raven before that death comes through was very, very low. And without the Ashe, it's gonna be a rough fight here for YE Snowfall. They're going to invest though, rally in as well as the orbital ray. I thought that was a pulse bomb, but Turtle Boy got me confused as well. Dinks very, very low. I'd be surprised. Yeah, the pulse bomb comes out. It's only good for damage into Dinks, who is still being harassed by this Tracer. Nobody really turning around to help them, but I suppose it is okay for Short Bus as long as Akaza does not find any more value than what they are getting. Smashed with the Dragon Blade. Once again, pretty cosmetic. Gonna get Sheathed right back up. Bob thrown out. Smash falls down. Turtle Boy cleans up 2. Fight. The longest first fight in the history of anything ever comes to an end, and it is Snowfall's victory.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, they had to give up, 2 ticks for it, so not, exactly what you want, as well as both teams going through a full cycle of ultimates here, but it burns a pretty hefty amount of time off the clock, and you're still holding on. So now, you're looking probably towards Turtle Boy's Pulse Bomb, see if you can end this one quickly, but having to contest the point with only 1 tick left to give is going to make this defense now 10 times harder for Snowfall, because then maybe not able to peel as much as they want to.
Gonna rely on Zen and Turtle Boy a lot. Pulse Bomb in the hands of this Tracer. Not gonna opt to use it into Smash there. Sees where Akaza's at in the reception desk. Will get a pack there from their Brig. Silent Blaze helping out from afar as best as they can. Bobendo chasing their Diva over into the top high ground as well, trying to meet this team. Akaza greeted by Turtle Boy quite quickly. Pulse Bomb is out, and very lucky that Bobendo wasn't claimed by the Pulse Bomb, but will get claimed by just about everything else. So numbers heavy in favor of YE Snowfall, and it will be their fight win, and 18 seconds left on the clock is staggering.
I was gonna say, they probably wish they could stagger out a little bit more here. Oh, it's so important that Smash Blaze, but there's some beautiful Brig packs to do it. But now it's just a Akaza's Pulse Bomb. Everything else just a few percentage off for Short Bus. They have the Rally and the Orbital Ray, though, on the side of Snowfall.
Orbital Ray down from YE Snowfall, but Silent Blaze is no longer in this fight. Akaza shooting at a ghost right now. Not often that you see them looking at a player that is not there. We're going to see Bobendo now with an Orbital Ray of their own. Zen dispatched that mech very quickly, and self-destruct useless. And one more time, Short Bus right at the edge of defeat will get the point capture.
Short Bus is so good at that style of fight where they're down 1, but they just, they sort of stagger touch the point until they get their members back, or they get the situation lined up where they want to, and do exactly what they need. Now Smash, switched over to the Ashe a little bit ago, is going to have a Bob online to complement the Orbital Ray coming out for Bendo. Meanwhile, Snowfall coming into this with just a Rally, so not, the best thing in the world here. It's going to be really hard for them to try to sustain through this Bob. Potentially wanted to try to play these high grounds, just make it a little more difficult.
Being Bobendo from that high ground, and fed a whip shot there. Didn't like the case, so not going to engage any further, but Akaza will do just that. Bob comes down from Smash, but he's just here for vibes. Akaza has basically done everything.
Yep, it's already cleaned up. Now if they can get the Diva out of mech, exactly what they wanted here. You're seeing that immediately go over to the cliff. And, considering how bad it was for them on point A, Short Bus now have a lot of momentum build up going throughout the map here. Off the back of just that Bob, they're going to be at the end of point B, potentially looking for a secure.
Raven will have one of their own here. The Dynamite falling right through the cracks of the map geometry going the way of YE Snowfall, and Akaza not going to get an opportunity to use the Pulse Bomb. Meteor Strike now down and in from Necryze, who's going to try to help out, and oh my god, from way downtown, Necryze gets the kill on the Turtle Boy, but that's not going to be enough now. 45 seconds on the clock, and Short Bus have not got much to work with.
Vorpento just shattered Zen's ankles there. I just want to call that out. I mean, the movement that Juno has, it's a I wouldn't say it's like overpowered or anything like that, but it's just, she can just literally slip out of doorways without you ever noticing. Snowfall, they've tapped the ult bank. They have nothing. Short Bus at least has a pulse bomb, but otherwise they are working with nothing as well. So Akazo really can be the playmaker here as we're winding down on time once again.
Big mechanics fight here as the ults are not in play, and the pulse bomb is incredible from Akaza, shutting me up right then and there. Has to be a late touch from Zen and Turtle Boy. 0.45 meters left as overtime begins. Zen has this self-destruct, and now with overtime beginning, Paradox is 90% to the orbital ray, so this could be a back-breaking fight because it's not like Short Bus can confidently kite that ultimate. Now self-destruct going to come out, get back in mech for Zen. Dinks, unfortunately, in a poor position to survive that orbital ray, and there will be a trade of the Briggs, but ooh, another beautiful stick there from Turtle Boy, and now Bob is just going to be the annoyance here. Eventually will be dealt with is Smash, and the round will end there at 114.23 meters for Short Bus. A very, very doable distance here for Snowfall.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, I mean, we just said that on Route 66,
Yes.
right? Like, oh, you
Yes.
could absolutely do it.
And it was
but
still true then.
it was still true, but it became
They
so
didn't
much
do it.
harder in actuality. And it's just because of the nature of these defenses, right? But I think Snowfall, I was hoping that they'd clean it up, and you saw it, you know, perfectly to a T there, right? Paradox and Silent Blaze were no longer being isolated in these weird out of position places. They were playing behind the rest of the team. They were secure. They got the peel when they needed it, when Akaza was coming into the back line. And now, you know, now that we're back into this forced hit scan like Ash mirror that we've been in, again, you're seeing the weaknesses of Smash come out a little bit. You know, still a phenomenal player, can land these shots when needed, have the Bob do their thing, but ultimately, right, Raven's just better on the day right now, constantly being a menace here, and it's really making this incredibly difficult for Snowfall, or Short Bus rather, to sort of continue to take this even fight. I would not be surprised to see after point A, if it does get capped by Snowfall, if we go back over to the Genji, even the Doomfist as well, just to try to give themselves more opportunity for a full-fledged dive.
All right. Round number 2 begins. Snowfall, of course, Raven on the Widowmaker, looking for a pop shot. Not going to find a target. We'll drop down, go over to the Ash here. Now rotating up to the high ground is Snowfall. Necry's will meet them on the opposite side, a gap separating them. Zen more than happy to join that fight on the other side of the gap. Paradox and Silent Blaze, of course, able to bridge that gap as well. Now the hard engage here from Zen, trying to burn through this Necry's defense matrix. Zen dropping down to the low ground, now going to go back and join their team on the other side. Akaza so low, but Paradox is dead here early. Not quite able to get that first take on the point, and now Snowfall is kind of shoved into a locker.
Being shoved into a locker, I mean, that's certainly the statement to be made here. And it's just going to be, again, right, the stabilization from the Short Bus absolutely massive here. They find an Ash way out of position here. Raven, you really can't be there for these sort of setups.
And now, I mean, Zen doesn't really have much in that defense matrix juice. Silent Blaze trying to escape. It's just Stagger City here for YE Snowfall. They cannot get together.
Yeah, I mean, it's very uncharacteristic, right? We haven't seen this from them, like, pretty much the entire day long, and all of a sudden we saw it very heavily there. So Short Bus on the defense now building up to pretty much every single ultimate. The only thing lacking is going to be Vorbendo, who's only a few percentage behind. So Snowfall, you know, they have their work cut out for them.
Pulse Bomb, self-destruct, basically everything up for Short Bus, and everything getting close here for YE Snowfall and Turtle Boy. Good lord, another one to the tally there. A big stick on Vorbendo. No orbital ray will be in play for this fight. Bob comes down. Orbital ray is the answer, and yeah, that Bob is going bye-bye. Smash's Bob cannot find any sort of life there. Dinks falls, Akaza follows, and with 1 tick left, 2 minutes on the clock, it will be Snowfall setting themselves up very, very well for the back half of this attack.
still a decent ult trade for Short Bus. They get their members out, so it's not a brutal stagger or anything like that. But now with this payload moving, right, Short Bus is going to be in a much harder position. It's going to come down to applying this pressure to the DPS line. I feel like Turtle Boy and Raven, they're getting too much work done, and it's just making it so much harder for Necrise, right? It's sort of this difference in Diva play where Zen is always methodical, knows exactly where they need to be. It seems like the right place every single time, whereas Necrise is a little bit more frantic, constantly looking for kills and not enough heal.
Has the orbital right paradox, expended that in the last fight, of course, so will more than likely just be a quick disengage here. Yeah, very quick around the corner, gonna wait for that orbital ray to fade away. Now re-engagement very, very imminent here for YE. Snowfall, Zen in, as well as Silent Blaze. Bob will enter the fray for Snowfall as Zen heads to the high ground to put hell of a lot of pressure there on to Raven. Bob cleans up that kill, and with 3 minutes on the clock, this is gonna get very down to the wire for Short Bus.
Yeah, I mean, it was smart. You had, I believe it was Verbendo who ended up dying on the payload. As well as Akaza is still a menace here in the backline, right? Potentially could go for a spawn camp onto Raven. Ultimately, maybe deciding that's not the case, needs to be over towards the payload. As, like you said, it's getting close to that golden box of victory. Just Diva bombs right now for both squads here, but a good pincer for Short Bus with Akaza on the flank.
And I mean, Paradox and Blaze are so much closer to these potentially fight-winning ultimates in the support ultimates. The orbital ray, the rally, so important. And Akaza's dead. The Tracer out early, a very big win condition for this Short Bus roster. Now, Turtle Boy traded out, so neither team going to have a Tracer in this fight. But Paradox, I mean, Silent Blaze and him are so damn close to these support ultimates. Dinks needs to find something with this rally if they are going to keep this alive. Orbital Ray down, progressing ever forward, and Robendo not even going to be allowed to get close to one of their own. 3.5 meters left separating this from completion, and another orbital ray just completely goes awry for YE Snowfall.
And I mean, this is Snowfall getting a little overzealous, right? They were sort of hoping, they were like, guys, if we invest here, but in that sort of Tracer trade that happened before the fight broke out, Akaza's always going to get back faster there, right? The defense spawns at that late in point B are going to be that much closer. So now you threw both your support ults into a ult that you cannot do anything with. It's going to be absolutely difficult here. Short Bus now, having a good defensive chance here. There's only just over a minute on the clock.
They catch out Akaza, they do. So, I mean, a little bit of damage, but nothing consequential for Snowfall as this Dynamite runs right into a wall. Not gonna find anything with that, not building any closer to these ultimates. Akaza and Turtle Boy going at it on the cart. Recall forced out of Akaza. Turtle Boy still waiting to get back to theirs with that cooldown. Pulse bomb out wide left for Turtle Boy. Necry's a little bit more comfortable with this self-destruct, ready to go. Now Bovendo calling in that orbital ray. Akaza having to use the recall, but a little bit too early on that, and Zen will get back into the mech, and Akaza claimed by the remeching. Self-destruct. Bovendo falls next with 30 seconds left, and a 6 versus 3. It's not looking so hot for Short Bus as that point rolls right through. And that'll be YE Snowfall moving to match point to send themselves to the grand finals.
I mean, it really is sort of this confidence right now. Snowfall, a lot of teams when they go up against Short Bus, they absolutely are like, oh my god, Short Bus, right? These guys are absolute monsters. But, giving them the proper respect of an opponent instead of this overcommitment of guys where you're not good enough to take them on, instead viewing them as equals, coming into this and matching exactly where they need to, taking their advantages with these very methodical, smart decision making, right? Both sides of this coin have had some beautiful kites from orbital rays, rallies, things of that nature, and everything feels like it's done with a purpose, right? Nobody's sort of wasting a movement or anything like that. But Snowfall, when push came to shove there on Kings, they just came out a little bit better from it. Obviously still close back and forth, but like you said, now on match point, Short Bus, probably for the first time in a long time, find themselves behind the 8 ball. you know, they've gone through Escort, they've gone through Hybrid. We now have some pretty gimmicky game modes left between Push and Clash Point. You know, that's not the situation you want to be in, but Short Bus, they now find themselves in a situation where both of those modes are going to be must-wins for them if this is how they want to get to the grand final.
Yeah, and I mean, from here on out, I mean, Short Bus, they've got this map picked, but they're not going to have that luxury on map 5, right? So,
No.
you know, it's not going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy. Why Snowfall has come to play today. We talk about, you know, this Short Bus roster being one of the best console teams ever constructed, right? And their history speaks to that fact for certain, but why Snowfall don't care? You know, yeah, you talked about it. It's a confidence thing. I mean, Turtle Boy is stepping to one of the, if not the best tracers that we have ever seen on console. Akaza has historically been that guy. Turtle Boy, I mean, has absolutely been spectacular. Everybody has been spectacular for YE Snowfall. A couple of ultimates here and there could probably be, you know, tightened up and, you know, placed a little bit better, a little bit more effectively. But, you know, you can't say anything about the results that they're getting right now in the end because, I mean, they're up on Short Bus. And, I mean, I think the last time I can remember that happening was in the winners final of season, I want to say 12, when they were down to Red Team.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since this situation, but we get some information behind the scenes a lot quicker than you do, and I hear boss music, Fletch. We talked about him early in the series. He's been missing. NRG is officially in the lineup for subbing in on that DPS role. So we talked about, you know, Turtle Boy being able to step to Akaza. Raven's been playing phenomenal all day long. You now have the largest task of a step up in front of you because NRG coming in, I mean, what, a quarter of our highlight reel that we started out this series with was just NRG clicking heads like a demon. Like, this player knows exactly what they want to do at all times. They are an absolute menace to deal with. But Short Bus, you know, again, they have looked mortal. So is energy really going to make them appear back to that immortality setting, or has Snowfall actually been able to figure something out? That's going to be what we're looking for here, as we are just waiting for that map pick to come through.
Yeah, and it's going to be Esperanza coming in from Short Bus for map number 4. And it seems like they don't want to deviate that much from the Diva, right? They got some confidence out of Route 66, fell quite a bit short on King's Row, but to be honest with you, it doesn't feel like either of these teams wants to play Malga. I don't think we're going to see any more Malga this match at all. And I think Esperanza is, you know, of the Clash Point, or rather the push maps, probably going to be the most confident Diva map you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, looking for where the rest of the series could have headed, right? This is probably still the best situation for Snowfall is going to be here on Esperanza, but this is also telling, right? Because this is Short Bus's, Short Bus's map pick coming in, so I expect to see probably still some elements of dive, right? But the mirrored hit scan, I'm more than expecting. Whether it's going to be that Ashe or maybe even the Sojourner coming in, time is going to be sort of the telling factor on that one. But Short Bus having the confidence to pick this after getting sort of, you know, not dominated because it has been a close affair, but, you know, still being taken to task by this Snowfall roster, it really is going to be seeing how Short Bus chooses to adapt and react in these situations.
Yeah. So, I mean, very, very important match here for Short Bus indeed. I mean, they are, yeah, we've talked about it already. They're not often brought to the brink like this. And, I mean, every time they do, they come back a lot stronger, more than often than not, for sure. So, as we get ready to head into Esperanza, we are getting ready to see if our predictions are accurate, and they are indeed. It is the Tracer, Ash, Diva, Juno, Brig from both sides. No deviations, no surprises. We're playing a dive.
I think what scares me the most is normally when teams are like close and stuff, because I've been casting so many EU games, there's so much typing. There is a tension right now. You can absolutely feel it. Snowfall realizes what they're doing, and Short Bus also realizes the stakes at hand of potentially their first loss in goodness knows how long. And so this map is going to be determining a lot of things with the high ground setups, who's going to be able to find these first picks and things like that. Whatever happens here, we're in for a hell of a run.
Esperanza, map number 4. Short Bus needs 2 in a row if they want to keep their upper bracket life afloat. YE Snowfall just need the one. Akaza on this Tracer. Talked about him so much. Looking to take care of it. Getting confident. Has to use the recall. Raven will not fall just yet. Akaza, no, I mean, you know that Turtle Boy knew that that recall was out of the question. And Bobendo is out as well. Some healing comes through onto Zen on this Diva, and without Bobendo, there's not going to be much of a real fight here for Short Bus.
No, absolutely not. So now Snowfall, you know, getting to build up a little bit of momentum here, but Akaza striking is now going to mean that 26 meters is probably all that's given over before you're going to see a full-scale retreat happen here. And, I mean, can anybody be caught out in this rotation is what Short Bus is looking for. And if not, then after the fact, it's going to be just control of the high ground. That's why you're seeing Zen try to contest it for as long as they can before they're eventually going to be pushed back. But now Energy in the position to thrive in it.
All right, well, Turtle Boy has returned to the fray. Pulse Bomb is out, and Raven is claimed by Akaza. And, I mean, without Raven, it's going to be rough, especially because Turtle Boy did not find a trade on that Pulse Bomb attempt there. And now Short Bus, you know, very likely going to take the lead here.
Yeah, more than likely. And Akaza's cleaning it up.
Oh, Paradox with the Orbital Ray Ajax. And Akaza with 2 more for the road, causing the Ajax, and that's brutal.
It was also just a beautiful rally from Dinks as well, right? That stun comes out at just the right time, being followed up on by Turtle Boy, right? The Short Bus squad, the thing that's carried them, that's made them look so dominant, is their synergy. And, you know, where they've been down in this series tonight so far, that's where they've been lacking. The synergy hasn't been on point. But now, as they're in the lead, they're getting to show signs of it once again here, as Energy just rain shot from the high ground and make it dangerous for anyone to keep.
Bob ready to go for them, as well as the self-destruct and the Orbital Ray. 3 ultimates in the hands of either team. Akaza getting very, very close to a second Pulse Bomb here. Bobendo waiting for the best opportunity to call upon their Orbital Ray. Critical is Dinks for the moment, and the push will begin into the back half of Esperanza here for Short Bus. Pulse from the hands of Akaza. You know that they want something here badly. Trying to fight Zen out of the mech, excuse me, as Akaza caught out, going to be knocked off of this off angle. Bob going to be invested by Raven to start to fight. Bobendo is the first casualty, and with that deep ultimate advantage, I mean, nothing is actually going to come out of Short Bus in this fight.
Yeah, and it's super measured, right? So now it is going to be 4 ults versus 4 ults, but forward spawns all secured for Short Bus means that Snowfall is going to have to win another fight to actually get the bot moving towards that checkpoint. They might get a few extra meters here, but that positioning is going to be a thing, as the pause is being called by Energy. Simply, you know, we don't understand fully why, potentially something happening in the background, but, you know, like I was saying, right, Snowfall not having to overinvest, being able to do it with just that Bob is massive. Now that there's no rally on the other side as well, they have that extra sustain going for them on the side of Snowfall, but, you know, one pick could be all the difference, and both these Tracers having Pulse Bomb, that's sort of what I fear right now.
Yeah, I mean, this pause going to be annoying. Seems like there's some internet problems from the side of Short Bus. Not really sure who, if it's NRG that called for it, and so that'll be annoying. Maybe a little bit of a halt on the potential momentum that Short Bus could have had coming into that fight, because they were coming out of the close spawn, right? Giving Snowfall a little bit of time to prepare for this next fight. They know what they've got, what they need. So, I mean, as Short Bus tries and figures out what they've got to do with this internet issue, which it seems like they will, we'll see what Snowfall has cooked up in this break.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the hook is indeed, as it seems like it's just going to be some high pressure on the high ground to start.
Pulse Bomb out there from Turtle Boy, will not claim a life. NRG throwing in a bob of his own. The Torpedo's not really finding a target there for Vendo, as the Orbital Ray are going to be called down. Is that a second Orbital Ray Ajax from Paradox?
I don't see an Orbital Ray on my screen, and it definitely got used. That's tough. That is the definition of tough right there. And Short Bus, I mean, hey, listen, for them, that's exactly what they need. Now, you know, still being able to hold on to their own Orbital Ray, get things closer to a rally again. And they're probably going to get some more meters and the forward spawns reactivated before Snowfall can really have a crack at it, as they chose to, for some reason, come to this upper door. Now it's just a really aggressive engage.
Energy getting dropped to at 1.40 HP there. Yeah, that close spawn will be activated for Short Bus here. Ultimates getting ready to be thrown in from the side of Short Bus 3 indeed, but a headshot onto Raven may very well prove to them that they don't need to invest these ultimates. Self-destruct out to get back into the mech for Zen, and this is going to be a desperate fight here for Snowfall as they await the return of their Ash.
I mean, yeah, and it's just going to get more and more desperate as soon as Short Bus chooses to invest into this, right? Still having both the portals and a Diva Bomb for whenever needed for Necrise.
Yeah, Necrise investing said orbital, or rather self-destruct as the orbital ray comes down from Vobendo. Now rally in from Silent Blaze, the orbital ray from Vobendo. Nobody going to get claimed by it. NRG looking for some shots, as there will be a support trade. Unfortunately, Dinks eats a pulse bomb there. Raven gets the better of their opposition, and it will be Snowfall holding on here as Akaza's being a little bit of a nuisance. Left hook there from Raven. We'll clean that up, though.
It's not really a left hook. Like, that's more of just a direct
It's a left jab.
punch.
It's a left jab.
I was going to say, like, a hook is like a hook.
Left hook
motion,
sounds
you know?
better, though.
That's true. Anyway, what sounds even greater, though, is the fact that Paradox has another orbital ray. Will this one get Rayjaxed? I've coined that term now. That's what we're going to go with. We'll have to just wait and see. Paradox hopefully gets it off.
Not one for the side of Obendo. A very early and aggressive push here from Short. Okay. Well, may not even get a chance to use it. Will not even get a chance to use it there for Paradox, as with the Juno gone, yeah, not a chance in hell for Snowfall.
And now it just runs all the way back, and this is the unfortunate thing of push, right? You have to win multiple fights in a row if you're the team that's down in meterage. So, you know, it's going to be more and more difficult here. Short Bus continue to build momentum, getting this bot back to the other side of the map.
Well, Orbital Ray will be called in from Paradox. It will have some kind of value associated with it, and that value has come through in the way of a headshot kill onto NRG, the best Orbital Ray we've seen from Paradox here on Esperanza.
Oh, come on, you don't gotta be that rough. But hey, I mean, listen, Energy actually used
Okay,
Bob
we're
there
friends,
as
it's okay.
well. So absolutely massive here, right? This is now Snowfall giving themselves a good chance to win. They have their own Bob from Raven to help commit some of this space, but you do have to live as Akaza is desperately trying to find this Ash in the back line.
Turtle Boy with some great peel there onto Akaza. Will not allow Raven to fall victim to that Tracer. 2 minutes on the clock. Snowfall approaching this checkpoint here. Bob ready to go for Raven, as it looks like Snowfall are going to rotate around this high ground on the opposite side. Pulse bomb ready to go, and I mean Akaza doesn't miss with the pulse bomb.
I mean, to be fair, Silent Blaze definitely said, I am going to die with you. on that pulse bomb, but no, not even forward spawn secured here. Beautiful hold for Short Bus as they now, again, they set themselves up, both support ultimates in the bank as well as a Diva Bomb for Necrise should they need it for the remake. I mean, Short Bus, they definitely look more confident, more in control right now, as they're probably going to be able to reactivate forward spawns again here. Snowfall at the disadvantage, need to find some sort of opening.
There will be a touch, though, before that close spawn is activated. The checkpoint not a... Where did that kill come from? Paradox dying out so early. Self-destruct traded out from either side. Necrise will be allowed to get back into make. Close spawns activated once more as Short Bus moves back into the back half of Esperanza.
And just being more and more in control. Again, the support ultimate still online. Paradox is building closer to try to help match, and it's going to be Orbital Ray from Rovendo though to start.
Has to be a fast disengage here, and it will be. They are playing around the barrier, so no extra percentage or meterage, rather, will be gained from that Orbital Ray rally. And Orbital Ray ready for Snowfall, rally for Short Bus, but I mean, Raven is already dead here early at the hands of Necrise, and Dinks popping the rally as well as Silent Blaze, and it's just too quick, too breakneck for YE Snowfall to keep up. The decision making, the timing, it's all just too fast right now.
Yeah, I mean, their support ultimates now both get wasted, right? So Snowfall finding themselves in an even worse position. It's getting even more dire as they're running out of time and running out of options, Ledge.
10 seconds on the clock here. DPS ultimates in the hands of Short Bus. Akaza has been electric with the pulse bomb. Looking for this pick on to Paradox. Will not be afforded that pick just yet, as Snowfall, they're not done just yet. We've got an overtime push ahead.
I mean, yeah, but Snowfall has nothing. They're going to get towards the Diva Bomb, but like you said, it's going to be a pulse bomb from Akaza, which has been delivering massively, finding these supports time and again. And NRG's Bob as well here to create tons and tons of space. In a situation where Snowfall can't get off the bot even for a second, it's going to just be more and more devastating as Short Bus is already here ready to attack.
Zen, self-destruct ready to go. Very, very aggressive early, but Raven doesn't have that same get out of jail free card. Pulse bomb from Akaza claims another life, and I mean, I need to know what the stats are looking like, because I don't think Akaza missed a pulse bomb this map. I just don't think it happened.
And this is the Akaza we know and you love here, right? Turtle Boy was doing a lot of damage, being able to put in some of that, you know, locker pressure, like we were talking about, stuffing him in a locker, but you know, being able to step up here again is reminding everybody why the Short Bus squad is so damn good. And now, you know, map 5 on the horizon, Snowfall. They predicted it would get here, but the question is now, can they actually deliver, or will Short Bus, with, you know, their full lineup in ready to go, be able to punch their way through to the Grands?
Well, that answer going to come after a short break, to the chagrin of NRG. I need to go to the bathroom. So we're going to cut it to a short break. When we come back, we will have map number 5 for y'all to decide who heads to the grand finals here in the NA console open tier, and who falls to the losers finals to play one more match to try and get a chance at the grand finals. Stick around. This match, the tension is palpable. All right, welcome back, everybody. We know that these players are raring and ready to go in this winner's final, a 5th map on the horizon. We know where we're going for it, and it seems like this will be the first major departure here from the Diva composition that we've gotten oh so used to over the course of the first 4 maps. It's New Junk City, and it doesn't feel like that is exactly conducive to the way that we want, or that they want to play.
Yeah, but I mean, Snowfall, they kind of got backed into a corner here, right? The only modes left to pick from are Clash and Flashpoint, and I mean, really across all 4 of those maps, nothing's really going to be conducive. Like, Hanaoka, maybe you could argue you could run the Diva, but Amalga Comp is going to force you. So, you know, of course, we could be wrong, right? Snowfall could just say, screw it, we don't care that it's New Junk City, we'll just run it down on our Diva setup. But, you know, this is going to be more return to the brawl, right? It's so dominant, so in control here on Flashpoint, especially on New Junk compared to Cervasa. It just absolutely can do any and everything that you needed to do. In Short Bus, they showed us looks on the Malga early on, but it did not look as good against the Diva comp, so potentially we'll have to see how good they actually stack up in this Malga mirror if that's what we're going to end up getting.
Yeah, it's going to be a big question mark, right? Because essentially we've only played maps where the Diva is either forced or comfortable, right? The Lijiang Tower, you know, like Garden was good for Diva, I think, but other than that, it was just that Snowfall forced Short Bus into that mirror, and they wouldn't have, you know, liked that very much on Lijiang Tower. But on the other 3 maps, been very, very close overall, and they've been pretty comfortable on this Diva comp. So we did see them try and force this Diva comp for the side of Snowfall on Lijiang Tower, where maybe it's a little bit weaker, but will not be the case here as we head in. Nakrai hovering the Wrecking Ball. I don't imagine, that's coming out. But White Snowfall, this is the composition that we've seen them play on these Flashpoint maps. It's the Orisa with the Brig Juno throwing it back a patch to when Orisa was at her peak.
Yeah, and so you're looking to be more tanky and things like that, but it's going to be one of those things where the longevity of the fight is going to be a massive factor, right? The faster it is, Snowfall is going to be better, right? The longer this fight goes on, Necros will get more value than the Orisa. It's just simply the laws of these characters right now. So Snowfall, you know, especially with Turtle Boy, might have to be stepping up even larger than he already has.
Knocked down there for a moment. Nakai's in and out in a snap. NRG chunking players down, but is it going to be enough without Nakai's in the fight? The answer is no. Raven puts an end to that inquiry very quickly. Point unlocks, point captured for YE Snowfall.
Yeah, but again, you saw how low the health bars were getting for Snowfall. They finally find the cries before Zen ends up going down, and their DPS are able to clean it up from there. But again, you have to be playing even faster here. Turtle Boy now has a better advantage, being able to set up in positions where they know they'll be behind. And yeah, I mean, they're already scouting. They know what this Tracer wants to do at this point.
Yep, Turtle Boy been so annoying all series long. A thrown in the side of a Short Bus for damn sure. Oh my goodness, a good old flash fan the hammer from Raven into NRG. The Reaper falling over dead very quickly, and Short Bus do not want to let this go without a fight, but it seems like they are having that fight pried out of their gold dead hands as Vobendo tossed into a blender.
Yeah, and so now, I mean, it might actually be off the back of NRG here to try to get a touch if they choose to touch onto this point. You know, it seems like, 70% is a fine place to lose the fight, but these points tick up so fast. Yeah, I don't think anyone's getting there in time. There's just going to be a raw fight in the middle here before we go to our next flashpoint. Yeah, it's just over and done with now. Both teams just simply having to reset for the next one.
All right, and that ult advantage is heavy for Snowfall here. Turtle Boy taking a shot there, not That would have had to be a Akaza, I have to assume. So, Turtle Boy, I mean, they know that they are there. Pulse Bomb is out, gonna find some damage, but nothing more. And Zen actually eating up that Akaza Pulse Bomb. And Necry's, unfortunately, right into the eye of the storm there, or out of the eye of the storm, into the eye of the orbital ray. Rather, Zen falls. The flashbang not going to stop that oncoming front by NRG. Death Blossom, good for one. NRG cleans it up. Point will belong to Short Bus.
And that's great for Short Bus. I mean, being able to force out 4 ultimates from the side of Snowfall and still winning the fight, thanks to that commitment by NRG in the end, as well as some good wall placement from Akaza. I mean, absolutely just the chef's kiss of what you want here. Now with a cage and an orbital ray to boot, Short Bus find themselves in good position to just sort of escalate fights to take this round.
All right, 30% now for Short Bus here on Junkyard. Bobendo with the orbital ray. Paradox not having that same luxury coming in here. Raven with the Deadeye going onto the flank, looking for the opportunity. The rest of the team following. So maybe not much of a flank here if everybody is going that same direction. Eyes on to this Reaper. NRG very, very low as Raven tries to put in some damage into whoever they can see. Necry's has this cage fight ready to go. Will drop that down, and I mean, it will be a kill onto Necry's. 2 for 2 here as Turtle Boy jumps into the fray. Some good ult spam there, or rather util spam by the Orisa, but not enough as Short Bus confidently taking Junkyard.
Yeah, and like I said, now that you're on the Reaper, these fights are going slower, and this is what Short Bus wants. The Mauga is simply going to sustain a whole lot better in the long run, right? Orisa's sustain is very burst heavy now, but between cycling her cooldowns in those tight windows, Short Bus still maintaining a good ult advantage, having this Blizzard as well as another orbital ray to work with for Verbendo. I mean, Snowfall, they really got to find something big here if they want to come back.
Turtle Boy with this Death Blossom ready to go, stomping around a little bit loud, not deterred even a little bit by the whip shot there, and the fake out on the right form out into the Death Blossom there. Not even a little bit expected, but NRG has decided, yeah, it's their turn.
Yeah, and so now this Reaper's going to get staggered out a little bit dangerous staggering the Reaper because the amount of damage this Hellfire Shotgun can do, but again, Short Bus, they just are able to live the longer fight. Turtle Boy just couldn't get set up in time here, and now they're choosing pretty much a full mirror on the side of Snowfall, but at the cost of their ult bank, it's giving Short Bus the advantage.
Here is the orbital ray, not much of a place to run away to as the Blizzard comes down in response. Unfortunately, it's not going to go their way as NRG is on a 15-player kill streak.
Yeah, I mean, this Reaper is coming up massively right now. Snowfall, they've tapped it all out. Silent Blaze, whether they're aware of it or not, has the most important task of all for Snowfall, which is to build this rally and then be able to stun NRG out of this Blossom. If they can't do that, then this should just be the second point going to Short Bus and, you know, putting them only 1 point away from that grand final appearance.
Right. Akaza here. Wall out there from Raven. Necry's caught out very, very low, very dead indeed. NRG not even going to get a chance to let that ripcord go on the Beyblade, and it will be Snowfall retaining their life here on the Ducks.
Beautiful wall from Raven, right? Being able to isolate the Mauga, recognizing that Necry's was going to be in that corner, because now Snowfall did that without investing any ultimates, and the pendulum of that ult fight is now heavily in Snowfall's favor. As long as they don't get torn apart by this Blossom still, it's something they have to look out for. You know, Snowfall should be able to build up some good percentage here.
That wall not as effective or conducive to stopping Necry's on this Mauga. This Blizzard has got to be immaculate. Got to wait for this Mauga to run in before letting that one go. Necry's will be able to escape being frozen dinks. However, not so lucky. Turtle Boy able to get out. And the stun out of the cage fight! NRG, though, comes in with 3! Lets the ripcord go! And NRG rips apart YE Snowfall.
Snowfall only ever ended up using the Blizzard there, nothing else. They believed the fight was secure, but NRG and Akaza stacking those ultimates on top of each other. The slow made it from the Blizzard, so nobody could escape the range of the Blossom, and now only 1 point away. Snowfall, they have such a difficult task now because you have to win the next 2 points, but if you give up the ult advantage at any point, Short Bus can simply say, fine, we'll lose this point, we'll stack for last, and then roll you there. It's going to be such a crucial, meticulous balance they have to work with.
Probably not called out there. Eventually does get shoved out. Paradox will answer Bobendo's orbital ray call there, and it will be a trade of Reapers here early in this fight. There is a Terra Surge in play here should Zenit choose to use it, and there is not much to escape from there, but will do it there as Bobendo just slowly but surely floats out of the area of effect, and Short Bus takes over here.
Again, you're seeing the weaknesses of the Orisa. Like, you almost get to ignore the Orisa if you're the Malga. Just simply go around, deal with the rest of the composition, and leave the Orisa on an island by herself. That's the name of the game right now. Snowfall, heavy investment, not coming to fruition here now. You know, they're running out of percentage, they're running out of time. They've got to make something big happen.
All right. Orbus looking to stonewall here against YE Snowfall. Bobendo putting out some good healing now. The Death Blossom good for only one. Does survive, but I mean, it's just so damn consistent. They lose one player and it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It really is not. Because, I mean, Short Bus now just won that out without a single ultimate. You have to realize how impactful that is. Snowfall is going to get one more touch, right? 60% is enough for everybody to get back into this one, but you're just working with a Blizzard. You're about to push into a Blizzard, a Cage, NRG's Death Blossom. I mean, if Snowfall manages to find a way to win this fight, it would be borderline miraculous.
Backs against the wall. What have you got left, YE Snowfall? 95% for this roster. Cage fight down, Death Blossom in, and there is a touch. The Blizzard, massive, followed up by the Terra Surge there. Dinks, though, with 2 for the road. Akaza going to meet someone downtown as Snowfall retains their hold. Will weather that storm.
Now, I mean, still, Short Bus didn't even use everything there. That was just the Cage Blossom combo. There's still a Blizzard. There's going to be a rally. If the fight goes long, mirrored orbital rays as well here. Nobody can get caught in this Blizzard, but, you know, that's pretty much a guarantee that somebody's going to be found by this. Akaza's placement of them has been so beautiful all day.
All right, coming up on the very final point here for Bomb, Flats, Necries. Looking for it. You see NRG teleporting into that back line. Necries jumping into the fight. Blizzard invested. That is going to be a brutal, brutal Blizzard there. Paradox with this orbital ray. I mean, it is a very, very strong fight for YE Snowfall, but one more time, they are able to just weather that damage for Short Bus. I mean, they had everything against them, and they will not let that deter them. A third straight season grand finals here for Short Bus. They continue their dominance. Slow start. NRG comes in. They look like a brand new team. This is the Short Bus we have gotten accustomed to, and now they have locked in, like I said, their third end of season grand finals in a row.
Snowfall so close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And last I checked, the horseshoes on Orisa may be the thing that cost you here, right? Not being able to adapt to the Malga. It just gave the benefit over to Short Bus time and again on that last map. You now have a loser final looming ahead of you to try to earn your way back into that grand final rematch up here. You played Short Bus incredibly close. You have to give yourself a pat on the back for that, but like you said, NRG rejoins the lineup, and this team, the Short Bus team, they go back to sort of that infallible, dominant position you'd expect.
And I mean, we've been calling the Malga meta a great equalizer, right? But that only matters if both teams are running it. Snowfall were able to get some advantages on the Diva composition, but the second it came to the Malga, I mean, we knew that they weren't going to play it for Snowfall. It was hard, right? We have not seen them be comfortable on the Malga. They haven't even dared to try it. And unfortunately, like I said, that equalizer only matters if you're both running Malga, and Orisa just isn't that good compared to Malga. There are some good options if you don't want to play the Malga. Like, in my mind, Junker Queen would have been awesome here. Orisa's just not it right now.
Orisa's just not it. I mean, we can hammer that down all day long, but again, you know, props just has to be on the side of Short Bus being able to weather the storm, play these long series out, and come away with these decent victories. So you know exactly, you know, just how good this squad is and why they find themselves in grand finals once again.
Yes, so now we will cut it to a short break, and when we come back, we will have a rep, I believe, from this Short Bus roster to talk to us about this matchup. It'll be either NRG or Smash, so stick around. We'll talk to one of the hit scans, I suppose.
Memories. Memories.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Our first grand finalist locked in here for season 14 in the console open tier of North America, and we have our representative Smash here to talk about this series and how Short Bus got it done. Smash, how are y'all feeling? 3 in a row now.
We're feeling good. My team's doing really good. I'm really proud of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, coming into this matchup, you guys, as per usual, obvious favorites, right? But, you know, let's call it what it is, right? Snowfall was definitely giving you a run for your money on those earlier matchups. You know, walking through, thinking it back, was it just a matter of you guys, you felt like you could just sort of ego pick the same character, same comp, or was there something that was really just stopping you in those earlier maps?
It was definitely an ego thing, I would say, but it was kind of on my end as well because I haven't played the game in a pretty long time, I guess. So putting in that energy was pretty game changing, I'd say. So I would think it was pretty much just putting in energy.
Putting in energy being the difference maker. Hey, listen, you still got a map in there. You won one of them. Give yourself a pat on the back. Don't be too hard. But I mean, overall, like, you know, heading into what could be the future, right? Obviously, a lot of Malga has been played a lot of different places. This matchup was a lot of Diva. And, you know, maybe potentially depending on who's there on the day, flexibility could be an issue. Do you think that could be something that persists in the grand finals, or do you think whenever it gets scheduled, you know the squad will be here?
I think the squad will always be here. Like, we'll always be here on time. So it's just like, it's just a matter of showing up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, y'all definitely squatted up tonight. It was very, very close, but y'all end up getting the job done, Smash. And now, I mean, like I said, that's 3 grand finals appearances in a row now and a chance to win 3 in a row. What are y'all's thoughts headed into the grand finals?
We're hyped. I mean, we have the mindset of we're just gonna win it. So I think we're gonna go in there confident. We're gonna win it. So yeah, our team's gonna win it.
All right. Well, I feel like that is not the hottest take of the year at all here, Smash. But for now, we will go ahead and send you out to go start getting ready for that grand finals matchup. Y'all have got a little while. I believe it's what, 3 matches to go before that grand finals, 2 or 3 before y'all know who y'all go up against. So will be a little bit of time between here and now in that grand finals. So we're gonna send you out here, Smash. But before we do, is there anything you want to talk about that maybe we didn't, or any shout outs you'd like to make?
I like to shout out my team. Definitely my boy Energy for coming in, cause I wasn't playing too hot. But yeah, most of the time I would like to show up, but Energy's always there to bring it down. So shout out to him the most.
All right, well, not an unwarranted shout out at all. But now, Smash, we're gonna get ready to send you out of here. Go get ready for that grand finals. Trying to make history here in CGL. Thank you for coming to talk to us, and we wish you all the best of luck in that finals.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Mega history coming up indeed here for Short Bus. Obviously the archives of CGL are not the easiest thing for me to look back into, but I can't imagine that one team has been so dominant for so long. And if there has been one, Short Bus is definitely up there to rival them. Trying to pull off a 3-peat here in CGL. Not an easy task at all.
I mean, this match just proved it, right? This should put Short Bus on high alert. Like, obviously, yes, very confident in the interview there, but I promise you, the Short Bus camp should be like, okay, wait, guys, there's actually people who can challenge us now. We are no longer the immortal deities. And I hate to say it, it might have been a Malga crutch to get them over the line on Flashpoint. And it's crazy to say a crutch with Short Bus in the lineup, right? It's absolutely blasphemous to say that, I know. But Season 14's looming, and if a patch comes through where we finally gut Malga, as people have been demanding for months and months, you know, that crutch kicked out from under you, Snowfall might just be ready after a loser bracket matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with that. I do think the Malga played a big part, but it was also that Snowfall couldn't play it, right? It's the meta for a reason, right? I mean, it's why almost every team in every level of the game is playing that composition. So I don't know if I'd call it a crush because they did get the job done on the other compositions on the Diva 2 times before. But yeah, I think that compositionally, they just outclassed Snowfall on that final map, and we saw time after time Snowfall just couldn't keep up on the Orisa because Orisa just isn't that good. She's not as good as Malga is, especially if you're going to be running a mirror in the rest of the lineup, right? They were running that Mei, that Ashe, that or rather the Reaper, not the Ashe, and then the Juno Brig. They were all the same across the board, and if all else equal, the difference maker is the Orisa, right? I mean, the Malga, yeah, just that much better.
Listen, we can speculate all day long, all day back and forth. Obviously, at the end of the day, it clearly was better. Short Bus won, got that dub, and now find themselves in that grand finals, Fletch. But you know, CGL playoffs, it's been going for a pretty hot minute now, and I'm really starting to realize we're winding down on a lot of these brackets. You know, we're nearing that last week. We're gonna have some crowns starting to get handed out here very, very soon, and I feel like whichever team ends up winning it, whether it's Malgameta, whether it's something new, Season 14, whatever it ends up being, we're just going to be in a dead heat from here to the finish line.
Yeah, and I mean, if I trust any team to be able to adapt to a new meta away from this Malga comp, it's Short Bus. I mean, this roster is just so deep, so strong. There's a reason they've been dominant for almost 2 years now. So as we get ready to set out here, yeah, strong performance by Short Bus as they take the win against White East Snowfall 3-2. We'll be back tomorrow with some SNO action. We are a lot of Overwatch to be played here, but not a whole lot of time to play it. So thank you all for watching. We will catch y'all again later this weekend.